Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2017 general readings. I am so glad that you're able to join us here today, and welcome any newcomers who are here for the first time. Yes, my background has changed. I am currently bouncing around Europe right now, currently in Eastern Europe. Which is probably where I'm going to be for the next several months. But my schedule remains pretty much the same, still posting, still doing personal readings, still working with clients. So as always, a big thank you for continuing to watch, listen, follow, subscribe, for sending in all your wonderful support, feedback, and comments. Greatly appreciated. Thank you to all of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings, including all of my wonderful regular clients. Thank you so much. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the little about or description button on this channel's homepage for more information. Email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full-time, pretty much 6 days a week. It is what I do. So I'm usually able to work with people's schedules, and current turnaround time is anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks, but we can almost always schedule something for you within a 2-week period of time, live or recorded. So if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. Okay, moving right along. These are general readings, as always, so make sure you check your rising and your moon sign as well, because they may resonate with some of you may not. Your rising or your moon signs may play out a little more predictably for you. And by watching all three, if you know them and if you can, it just gives you more insight, more clarity, more pieces kind of the big picture. So try to do that if you can. Since we're doing the beginning of the month generals, I will be pulling the customary 2 cards per week with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck for overall energy and guidance. And this reading is for the earth sign of Virgo. So let us see. We begin with the Ace of Wands, followed by the 7 of Wands. We have the 2 of Swords, followed by the Ace of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles, followed by Strength, and the Magician, followed by the 10 of Wands. And from the bottom of the deck, as overall energy and guidance, we have the 5 of Cups. I'm already kind of getting the picture pretty clear for a lot of you. You have 2 aces, beginnings, new beginnings. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 wands, 2 pentacles, a cup, a sword, a couple of major arcana cards. So we find ourselves around the beginning of August 2017, although I am recording these in the last week of July. Time being somewhat fluid, as I always say. We find ourselves with the Ace of Wands. Sorry about the glare. I'm currently in Poland, and this desk is in front of a window, and the weather here is endlessly changing, rain, clouds, so the light is fluctuating. My apologies. So we start with the, it's not helping at all. We start with the Ace of Wands, followed by the 7 of Wands. No, that doesn't work. Okay. So Wands is governed by the element of fire. That's the element which governs the suit. It's creative, fiery, dynamic, energetic energy. It's all about creating, building, and manifesting energy. You often see it manifest in things like artistic, creative endeavors, career, but it's really just very dynamic, forward-moving, action-oriented energy. Aces are the ones, they represent the start of something new, a new beginning, which holds a lot of promise if it's followed through and carried out. Otherwise, it just can fizzle out as a new, exciting idea, something that you start but don't follow through with. I like to compare aces to seeds, which contain a lot of potential and can eventually end up manifesting their full potential and giving back to you, but they have to be planted at the right time, nurtured, and taken care of. So that's what this is. This is a new beginning. It's a new beginning governed by fire, so it's powered by a lot of enthusiasm, desire, passion, creative, energetic, manifesting energy. There is an exciting new beginning in front of you. However, the Ace of Wands is paired with the 7 of Wands, which is a defensive card. And sometimes this can be, I mean, the cards relative to how they're in context with the cards that are around them and what the reader channels. This can represent standing by, guarding, defending, protecting something you have a sense of ownership in because of how much you've invested. It can also represent being a defensive in perhaps a negative way, or a way that's not healthy. It can represent holding on to something and being defensive about something, not wanting to give up, not wanting to give in, not wanting to compromise. It really just depends on which Virgo you are. But I feel like for a lot of you, there's another ace, an ace of pentacles here. I feel like there is a new beginning for a lot of you. There's some kind of offer or opportunity for a new beginning. You may be having an idea for something. You may have started, but the Ace of Wands would represent something a bit more action oriented, starting off on a new beginning. For some of you, the thing is I'm getting a lot of actual defensive energy in a way that I don't think is healthy for some of you. It's kind of, it kind of feels as if you're supposed to be starting something new. There's supposed to be a new beginning, a fresh beginning. You're supposed to be leaving something behind and beginning to move on from something which has been holding you back, or something which you have been grieving, perhaps in a natural, organic way, but have gotten kind of stuck in it. There's either the opportunity to have this new beginning, or it's being perhaps feeling like it's being foisted on you. And for some reason, I'm feeling a sense of defensive resistance against it. It's like you're holding on to something from the past. You're holding on to some, perhaps some grief, some loss, and resisting moving forward from that. I say that too because of your overall energy and advice, which is the Five of Cups, which represents kind of grieving over something that you've lost, or something which has been taken or changed beyond all recognition for you. We'll get to that at the end. But I feel like that's kind of what's, you're holding on to something which is preventing you from moving forward, but it's actually creating conflict because there's a part of you that wants to and is meant to, there is in all of us, meant to move forward. Again, reluctance and resistance. So next to that, we have a similar kind of energy. We have the Two of Swords, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. So the Two of Swords, air energy, that's the element which governs swords. It's all about that airy energy up here. Cerebral, mental, intellectual energy. Swords is about words, ideas, belief system, outlooks, how we look at things and how that affects how we communicate. Words, ideas, communication. It also represents insight, trust, higher education, and learning. It's cerebral, mental, intellectual energy. The Two of Swords is a card about being stuck, basically. Twos can represent balance. They can also represent duality, needing to make a decision, being at a crossroads. The Two of Swords represents not only feeling stuck, perhaps not, some of you it may be not knowing where to go, but I think for a lot of you, the blindfold also represents a reluctance and a resistance to deal with something that's in front of you, to make a decision, to look at something head on, because if you do, you'll be responsible for having to make a decision. And so consequently, it's like turning a blind eye or keeping yourself deliberately in the dark because there's something that you don't want to face. And I think for a lot of you, it's something that you've been holding on to, and that has to do with grief, loss, anger, bitterness. You know, it could be loss of a person, loss of a job. It could be, you know, you've just reached that point in your life where things have changed so much, nothing's worked out the way that you thought it would. But there's this sense of being pulled to start over, to start fresh. And for some reason, there's this holding on to this negative emotion, which may have started out as a natural grieving process, but it's like you're embracing it and it's holding you back. So it's creating this conflict. And I feel like there's, like the first half of August, it looks like there's a reluctance or a resistance to move forward. And for some of you, this moving forward is actually tangible. It could be actual moving or relocating. That Two of Swords is paired with the Ace of Pentacles, another new beginning, another start of something new. This is in Pentacles energy, which is earth energy. That's the element which governs Pentacles. So this is a new beginning in a tangible way, because the suit of Pentacles, as it's governed by the element of earth, is tangible. And it often manifests in tangible things in the day-to-day concrete world we live in. Things like money, finances, property, real estate, resources, etc. Things you can see and touch and feel, or results of the efforts that we put into something. The Ace of Pentacles often comes up for moving or relocating. Tangible new beginnings, it can represent a new job as well, which could be the case for some of you. Some of you may have been lost a job, fired, been downsized, something of that sort. And you've been maybe you've been kind of mired in some anger, bitterness, regret, loss over what's happened. It could be a relationship as well. It could be that I feel like for some of you, this moving on, starting over is actually physical. It's about moving and relocating, but for some reason there's this reluctance and resistance to move forward. It's as if you feel as if you let go of what you've been holding on to, the angerness, the bitterness, the regret, the loss, the sorrow, that whatever it is that you're feeling those emotions about disappears, is gone, or it means that it was all a waste somehow, which is not the case. You can take the best part of it and move on with you, particularly if it's about people. So it looks like the first half of August, Virgo, it looks like it's a bit of a challenge. It looks like it's like you're almost being compelled into a new beginning or forced into a new beginning. People may be pressuring you for this new beginning. It could be in the relationship sector. It could be in career. It could be a combination of both. It could be physically moving from where you were into a new place, moving forward. However it plays out for you, the specifics are going to vary because there's so many of you watching. So of course, the general readings are not going to mean the same thing to everybody, for everybody to the same degree and intensity. I mean, how could they? But the fundamental energy remains the same. You're being almost like dragged into a new beginning, and you're almost kind of like fighting and resisting, digging in your heels every step of the way, which as an earth sign yourself, you're pretty good at doing that kind of, reluctant, resistant, I'm going to dig in my heels, maybe not quite as strongly as, say, a Taurus, but still very much into that. So loosen up just a little bit. Spirit, this is, whatever this new beginning is, you may not want it. It may be scary or overwhelming, but it's there for a reason, and you're actually meant to be moving forward and letting go of what this, grief, loss, bitterness, resentment, regret that you've been holding on to. It's time to let it go and to move forward. So, and it feels like it probably eases up around the middle of August or so for most of you. There is still kind of a bit of going back and forth and actually facing it, I feel. We have next the Two of Pentacles, followed by Strength, the Major Arcana card of Strength. Beautiful card. So the Two of Pentacles, juggling, going back and forth. This man is keeping these two pentacles, juggling them in the air. And from the outside looking in, it appears that he's doing it effortlessly. But it's taking all of his attention, focus, concentration. There's a sense sometimes with the Two of Pentacles of being successful at something due to unorthodox methods. But it can be a card of juggling, of going back and forth, trying to decide, do I do this, do I do that? It can also represent being very busy. Some of you may be working a lot or being very busy as a form of kind of sort of being conflict avoidant as well, avoiding dealing with this issue, meaning making a choice. But the Two of Pentacles is also about making a choice, choosing something. Which pentacle are you going to keep in the air and which pentacle are you going to let fall to the ground? And I feel like for a lot of you, it has to do with, moving forward means that you have to face some fears that you have or doubts, insecurities, letting go, being stuck, what you've been holding on to and embracing, which of course is going to vary depending on who you are. Some of this, it's going to be relationships. Some of it, maybe it's grief from death, or it could be the loss of a job. But in a way, holding on to that is the perfect excuse for not moving forward. And I feel like in order to let go and move forward, you're going to have to face what there's a resistance and a reluctance to move forward, Virgo, and it comes from somewhere. And that somewhere is usually based in fear of something, anxiety about something. And it's about facing that. And I feel like for a lot of you, you do that or begin to do that around the middle of the third week or so of August, because that Two of Pentacles is paired with strength. This is about taking a good, hard, honest look at yourself. All the good, all the bad, all the in-between. It's about facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, the strength that it takes to do that, and the strength, wisdom, insight, and clarity that you get from doing that. It's about It's about exposing yourself to yourself, taking a look at those fears, anxieties. Some of them may turn out to be nothing more than just shadows or, smoke and mirrors, dust bunnies under the bed. Some of them, those fears or anxieties may be quite valid, and you're going to have to face those as part of this moving forward, but it's going to serve you very well. And I know that it can be difficult for you, Virgo. You are an earth sign, and you don't tend to move in and out of this kind of process easily because you're so rooted and you're so grounded. But I feel like a lot of you are actually summoning up the courage, determination, and perseverance to do this in moving forward. Maybe still a bit reluctantly, but you're doing it, and you're facing your fears in order to do it. Now, at or towards the end of the month, we actually have a very powerful combination of cards. We have the Magician and the Ten of Wands. So Virgo, it's kind of like, I kind of had this image in my head, Virgo, of this kind of a childlike or childish process where I don't want to go. I'm here. I might not be happy, but I'm comfortable and everything's familiar, and I don't want to let go of it, and I don't want to move on. It's scary, and I'm tired, and I don't want to start over again, and I don't want to move, and I don't want to relocate. I don't want to start a new job, and I don't want to have a new relationship, and I want to let go of this kind of, kicking and screaming, digging your heels in, being dragged all the way. But once you make up your mind, Virgo, boy, do you decide to do it. We have this powerful combination of cards at the end, the Magician and the Ten of Wands. Major Arcana card, the Magician. This is about taking the accumulation of your life's experience, wisdom, knowledge, which is what the Magician does. What does he do? He creates for his audience. He's very good at what he does because of how long he's done it. He's worked, practiced, learned from trial and error, success, triumph, defeat, failure. He's learned from everything as he's kept on going in his career. Now he's reached a point in his life where he can manifest whatever he wants, build, create whatever he wants. He knows he can create whatever he wants because of his skills, his knowledge. It's about taking your perseverance, determination, skills, knowledge, and tools, and manifesting them in an external fashion to create and build and manifest something in an external fashion. Kind of taking a dream and an idea and turning it into reality. It's very powerful. The Magician is an independent, self-sufficient, self-empowering energy as well, very strong-willed. So that is paired with the Ten of Wands, some more fire energy here. Tens represent the end of cycle, the coming full circle, or culmination of something. The Ten of Wands, as you can see, represents a burden coming to an end or needing to come to an end. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're facing whatever it is that you've been kind of maybe slow, reluctant, resistant on for the majority of August. It's kind of like around the middle or the third week or so of August, you're like, okay, I'm looking at this, I'm facing this, I'm going to do this. And then you really buck up, you take the responsibility, you hold yourself accountable for moving forward. It's time for this burden to come to an end. It's time for what you've been stuck in, holding on to, keeping you forward to come to an end. It is coming to an end, and it needs to come to an end. And for those of you that reach, this time period in August, and you're still, going through all of these fears, doubts, and insecurities, this combination of cards is a very powerful message from Spirit saying you have everything within you. You have everything that it takes to do this, to embark on this new beginning. Even if you can't see how it's playing out, even if you can't see the next step in front of you, it's about letting go and moving forward in whatever sector of your life this is manifesting in, because there's so many of you watching. It's going to be, different things for different people. But again, fundamentally, the energy is the same. It's time to lay this burden down. The cycle is coming to an end. It's time to move on. Now, your overall energy and guidance from the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. Cups is water energy, and it's about that watery, mercurial world of feelings. The Suit of Cups is about our emotional landscape, our feelings, and relationships, how our emotional landscape and foundation affect how we relate to other people, all different kinds of relationships. The Five of Cups is a card you can see about kind of being stuck in the past. You can see he's sunk down on his knees, and all of his mental and emotional and psychological, all of his energy is focused on these three goblets, which are tipped over and spilled out, which represent loss of something, something which he's lost, something which may have been taken away from him, perhaps something he lost because of a bad decision or something out of his control, someone, a job, etc. All of his attention is focused on that. But this isn't the Three of Cups, it's the Five of Cups. Behind this man are these two goblets, beautiful golden glowing goblets, upright, full, still representing things to be grateful for in his environment, opportunities that he might miss, which might be coming because he can't see them. His back is turned to them because all of his attention is focused on what no longer is. Basically, the past, what isn't part of your reality anymore. And grieving is a natural process when we lose something, someone, whatever it is that's important to us. And there's a natural process and steps to that process of grieving things and moving through the grieving process and then letting go and moving forward, taking the best of it with us and leaving the negative, the bitterness, the anger, the resentment behind. But this is a card which represents kind of being stuck in that, staying in that, holding on to that, embracing that. And there's a lot of this kind of defensive energy. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to deal with it. I want to stay with it. Maybe it hurts. Maybe it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's not even all that great for me. But if I let go of it, a lot of times people are afraid to let go because they're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of moving into an unknown future. Or as painful as it can be, it's familiar pain. It's what we know, particularly when it's around people or relationships. We feel like letting go of the pain means that we let go of the person, that it annihilates their existence or what was, and that just isn't the case. Everything here is pointing, Virgo, towards letting go and moving forward, taking the best of what you've been through and moving forward with it, taking the lessons, the value of that, and leaving behind the sadness, the grief, the bitterness, anger, resentment, any of that which might be present as you move forward. Those things will lessen and eventually disappear. But it's time for it to draw to a close. It's time to take this exciting new beginning, and even moving, relocating, or starting a new job. You have everything it takes, Virgo. Powerful, powerful, powerful energy. Powerful you. You have everything that it takes to do this. So forewarned is forearmed. That's why we do these readings, knowing this ahead of time. You don't have to go through the majority of August kind of digging in your heels and kicking and screaming. You can bypass it all and just scoop yourself right into that new beginning from the beginning. But we live in a free will zone. That's the gift we've been given by the universe, by God, Spirit, our angels, and guides. That's how we learn, by making our own choices and decisions. So you can spend the majority of August kind of digging your heels in and kicking and screaming. Or you can only spend a little bit of time. Some of you just might blow right through this. So interesting to hear feedback from you guys. Always, always love to get that feedback. So Virgo, that pretty much wraps up your August 2017 general readings. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal reading, don't hesitate to send me an email directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can find that email address and a little bit of information also by clicking on the About or Description button on my YouTube channel's homepage. I am still bouncing around Europe for the next couple of months, but of course I'm still quite happy to do personal readings, working with clients, and continuing to post because the internet is everywhere. So thank you very much for watching, Virgo, excuse me, and until I see you again, which will be soon, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, Virgo, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.